Pump it up some.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's.
Okay. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Wow, there's a lot of crap in this caliper.
With racing and with working on a car, there's all these little tiny satisfactions. Like you got a stuck bolt and you just can't get it off and it's rusted on there and you're working it and you're working it and you apply some chemicals and maybe some heat and finally it comes loose and you're like, yes, this tiny little victory. Whereas at work, you just don't get those little victories. You don't get those little bits of satisfaction. There's no, moment. When you email a report to a client, you don't get that yes. My name is Mike Benefield. I am 48 years old. I live in San Anselmo, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area. I am by day an asbestos and environmental consultant, and on the weekends I race in LeMons racing.
I really like the fact that I can get to help out, do some of the wrenching, but I normally get to clean stuff, paint stuff, just go grab something if I need to. It's quite fun. I really love hanging out with my dad and getting to do this amazing thing. Hi, my name is Ewan Benefield. I'm a student at Drake High School. I'm 15 and I race with my dad.
Okay, well, the idea behind 24 Hours of LeMons is that the money that you spend on the car itself, exclusive of all the safety gear and exclusive of anything from the wheel bearings out, wheels, brakes, tires, all of that, you're supposed to spend less than $500. So the car itself is supposed to be less than $500. But then they have these extremely strict safety rules. You've got to have a professional level roll cage, you've got to have a race seat, you've got to have straps, they have to be new, you have to have a full fire suit, everything has to be, SFI rated and such. And so that ends up costing a lot more than $500. So you can't just go racing in LeMons for $500. It costs a lot more than that, but it's still by far the cheapest kind of racing. And it's usually 2 days, about 7 hours each, so you end up with like a 14 or a 14 and a half hour endurance race. So you get lots of seat time, and you need to have a team. That means you need to have about 4 people that you've pulled together and that all contribute and that all drive. And we've got a great team. Consistent, fast guys, a lot of fun. I had kind of gotten to a point where I didn't think I was ever going to get to go wheel-to-wheel racing. I've always wanted to. All of my, ever since I was probably 10 or 11, I wanted to get out there and race. And endurance racing is what I like the most too. Like 24 Hours of LeMons, the real endurance racing, always was to me the most interesting. So I started working, my company got acquired, we consolidated offices, and I ended up next to Ted, who's one of my teammates. He supplies the space that we keep the car in. And he races in historic racing with his brother, and he invited me up to come and watch one of their races, so I did. And after that was over, the next week I said, hey, there's this thing called LeMons, 24 Hours of LeMons. And he said, let's do it. He just said, let's do it. And he had such a gung-ho kind of idea about it. And I was like, well, what about space? And he's like, we've got my driveway. I said, all right. And he said, let's go buy a car. And so literally that weekend we were shopping for a car. We got Dennis is the husband of one of our coworkers. And so he's been with us from the very start. And Jason's just been with us for the last 3 races now. And he turns out to be our ringer. He's fast. We started in about 40th place, and that's just a luck of when you get out there on the grid. But Jason took us up to about 17th place before he had to come in, and we had some loose lug nuts. And so then we got back out there, and we've been staying mostly between in the neighborhood of around 50 to 60th place, but right now we're in 34th place, which is our best ever. So, if we can keep this together, then we'll have our best finish ever. It's really been a lot of fun.
Is somebody supposed to give me a baseball cap now?
Take it out of gear. Yeah, it looked like it.
This one's 34 dead.
Great. If there's only 3 more cars, if they come off right now, basically, we'd have a chance of passing. 2 minutes. This is probably the last lap. So we're gonna finish in 28, assuming he doesn't wreck.
Now it's almost off.
Yeah. All right, it's good. But it's in.
It's
in?
well. No, it's not.
That work?
Yep.
Oh, that did something.
That's what we should have done in the first place. 28. 28.